guys, what's up? This is Fault Kid. And yep, if you watched my last video though, and yep, I am reviewing this movie right now. It's a movie that I saw, on my birthday. Because I think it looks great though. I mean, in my mind, it looks unique to me though. That's why I want to see it. Excuse me. And just so you know, I enjoyed it. Yes, I did, guys. I think this has to be the best one so far this year in my mind. I love this movie to death though. It's a really great movie from this year though. It came out like a month ago? Yeah, I just saw a month later. So luckily this movie is still in theaters, So now first off, I didn't really see it standard though. I actually saw it in 3D because, well, I mean, I like seeing movies in 3D though, but for some reason my mom didn't want. Well, the movie's gonna come out standard too late though. So, but instead we decided to see the movie in 3D though instead. So I'm like, okay, why not? So my mom's like, well, it's your birthday and see whatever you want. I'm like, okay, I just want to see Fantastic Four. I mean, it doesn't matter if I want to see it 3D or regular or not. I just want to see the movie. But so we did. So we saw the movie in 3D. Fantastic Four, First Steps. Yep. So yeah, I did went and saw the movie in 3D, and it looks really good in 3D though, which I don't know why I don't think they ever. I think they stopped making 3D Blu-ray releases, which I don't think they ever still do it or not. I don't think they do that no more, unfortunately. I wish they still do though, but they don't. I mean, it would have looked good in 3D, still though. Kind of like with the Friday the 13th, Jurassic World in 3D and stuff like that. Part 3, I'm sorry. Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D, and even like with the Jurassic World 3D or the Lego Movie 3D or any other movies that came out in 3D, Sorry. Yeah, heck, even the Alpha and Omega movie that came out from 2010, that was also in 3D as well. Well, even though I never got to see the movie in theaters though, but still. Just so you know, again, I still enjoyed it. I only went and saw it with my girlfriend, so her and I went and saw it, and I loved this movie though. I mean, the cast did a really good job though. I thought they did a really great job. But first off, when I get to the movie and the cast and everything, let me get to the other Fantastic Four movies. The Fantastic Four movies I grew up with. Now, the 2005 movie, Fantastic Four, I loved this movie growing up, though. I didn't think it was all that bad in my mind. I know the critics hated the movies for some reason, all because they were lit, probably. But I thought Chris Evans, everybody else in the movie did a great job, though. Jessica Alba, and any other cast members, they all did great as well. This movie did. This movie, yeah. Yeah, even the director did a good job as well, though. Because I grew up watching this movie a little bit, though. I loved it. And I thought it was just a fun movie to watch as well. So that's how I pretty much got to watch it on VHS. That's on and television as well. So that's how I got to watch the movie. So, but yeah. Now the second one from 2007, Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer. I didn't mind it. It was okay. It's not that bad of a sequel though. I thought it was just a decent one. I didn't think, or not decent. It was just. What am I trying to say? I think it was just, I think it was, a pretty decent sequel, though. Yeah, that's right. I said decent, yeah. Excuse me for that. Yeah, it's not perfect, though, but it wasn't as good as the original. The original 2005, though. But I still enjoyed it. I did pretty enjoy this one to this day, though. And I think it holds up a little bit. But I gotta say. Now, the next one from 2015, which hard to believe that came out 10 years ago. And I was, although I was 16 years old at the time when I saw that, and that's a Fantastic or Fantastic Four from 2015. I didn't mind this one at all, though, actually. I didn't mind this one. I know a lot of people hate this movie I understand, though. Which is for an understandable reason. I do understand the hate for everything, though. Yes, I know. Just say whatever you want. I understand people hate this movie, so. But honestly, when I saw that, I thought the movie was decent. I didn't think it was all that bad for a movie. Although I was 6 years old. I'm sorry, 6 years old when the 2005 Fantastic Four movie came out, and I was 8 when the second one came out. And of course, this movie, yeah, I was 16 at the time when I saw it. And I never mind this one. I thought it was, I honestly thought it was decent. I didn't think it was all that bad for a movie though. Like I said, I thought Fan Four Stick was a decent one in my opinion. I'll have to rewatch it again and see if I still like it or not. I don't remember if I still do though, because the point is though, I like the cast of this movie. Like for example, because I like Kate Mara, I like Michael B. Jordan, and I like Miles Taylor as well, and any other cast members. I thought he did a pretty decent job though. I honestly didn't think that they did that bad of a movie. Now I'm sure people will kind of point things out of Kate Mara's Sue Storm nosebleed during the fire at the end of the movie, but I thought that's kind of realistic in my mind, because people got too hot, their noses bleeding, but to me I think it looks a bit common sense, because when I was in school, we were playing outside though, and my nose were bleeding, that's pretty much why I think that makes sense to me though in my mind, But I don't know, guys. I'm not trying to, But Fan Four Stick, you don't have to like it. I know people hate it. Say whatever you want, but I didn't mind this movie. Okay, I thought it was decent to me though, in my opinion. So just say whatever you want. So. But moving on to the good one that you guys like. Yep. And I surprised the critics enjoyed this movie too. Fantastic Four: First Steps. I enjoyed this movie. Like I said before, I loved it though. The cast members, they knocked it out of the park. Everybody in this movie knocked it out of the park. I'm not kidding. Yeah, Pedro Pascal. I don't think I pronounced his last name right. I thought he does a really great job as Mr. Fantastic. I will say the main one. Vanessa Kirby, I thought she did an awesome job as Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch, he did great as well. I thought he does a really fun role in this movie, in my opinion. He was really funny in the role. Ibn Mas something, I don't know how you say his name though, but he played what's his name? Ben Grimm, the Thing, from this movie. I thought he does a great job as well. Just like anybody else did a great job, so just so you know. Now speaking of Pedro Pascal, he did, like I said, he knocked it out of the park in this movie, right? I gotta say, he's so much better than the ones from, I gotta say, it was a lot better than the second season of The Last of Us. The second season, Last of Us season 2, The Last of Us. That one is garbage. I cannot stand the second season of The Last of Us. The first season I do like though, but the second season is just pure garbage as well. But this movie, Fantastic Four: First Steps, was much better than that. I will say, I liked him in The Mandalorian. I liked him in Wild Robot. In any other movies, right? I do like him in any other movies. Some other movies, right? Yeah. Vanessa Kirby, I do like her as an actress though. Because she was in the Mission Impossible movies. Some other ones. She was in the. I believe what she was in. She was in the Catesman, the Golden Circle though, and plus she was also in she was also in Jupiter Ascending, which I'll have to rewatch that movie again one day. I didn't think it was all that. I liked it for some reason though, but I'll have to rewatch that one again though. But yeah. But any of the cast members did a great job as well, But again. But let's get to the plot with this movie though, Now the plot we got, of course we got Mr. Fantastic, and we got Sue Storm, she's pregnant, positive, and they're both gonna have a baby, and of course Human Torch and, Grimm, they're both are the Thing, whatever, they're both gonna be the uncles, Yeah. So they're both fighting crime and just going on a rocket ship, and going to space, it just, with Sue Storm, yeah, she's at, like, oh, we got this little robot thing, that's, that takes care of things in the house or building, whatever, that I forget. Of course, also, I forgot this, the timeline this movie takes place in the 60s, right? So it takes place in the 60s, though, you can possibly tell, though, so. It's kind of like the early 70s for some reason, though, but I realize it takes place in the 60s. That's what it is. So, it is, though. Yeah, so yeah. But just, though, so, now Sue Storm, she's at, like 8 or 9 months, 8 months, though, and, it's something about that kind of reminds me of Grace, that she was pregnant from the X-Men 97. Because, Cyclops, Cyclops, he's the father, and Grace is the mother, she was like 9 months pregnant at, in that, in X-Men 97, right? And she named the baby after Charles, Professor X, right? But, from that, just what I'm trying to say, this part, it is kind of, her character of, being that, though, does kind of remind me of X-Men 97 in the way, Yeah, so it does remind me of that, though, so that's what I'm trying to say. If you guys watched X-Men 97, I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about. So, if you haven't seen the X-Men 97 series, the rebooted X-Men 90s series, though, I mean, you should go check this one out. So, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, so. But anyway, though, so. But like I said, they're both about to go into space, going in a rocket ship, and and they met with the Silver Surfer, of course, the female, I forget though, and of course we got the villain named Galactus. The villain. They met with the villain, of course, and then if you don't they saw Sue Storm, and. If you don't give him the baby, and then they'll give him the baby, then the world will end and stuff like that, right? Everything will destroy, So then the Mr. Fantastic didn't want to give him the baby, and they both get out of there, get into the ship, and it's the Silver Surfer chasing them, and then they went to hyperspeed, and then Sue Storm gave birth. She was going to labor, and then she gave birth. It was turns out to be a boy. They went back to Earth, and then a lot of people asking about them, about what's going on and stuff like that, right? And then I mean, not all the people would tell them to just give them the baby and stuff but they didn't want to, right? Because they wanted to be a parent. They wanted to be a good parent, because it's because they want to end up like how Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic's mother died in the car crash, right? So their mother died when they were kids, and their father, well, don't want to say anything about that because their father just wanted to be a good father, right? But back when Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, just wanted to be kids. I mean, be kid, just they were kids at the time. That's what I meant to say, right? I didn't mean to say it that way, but sorry, but my mistake. But anyway. It's what they were talking about, right? So yeah, now, sorry, but they both have a plan though. They named the baby. They named the baby Franklin, and that's what I meant to say. Yeah, putting Franklin in the little thing, in the little roller, thing, roly-poly looking stroller thing, To put him in that though, to just distract the Galactus, Then the Galactus just goes to the building because Franklin was in that building, and of course, and then Sue Storm sacrifices her life to save the baby, and then the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, they're both fighting the Galactus, and then the Human Torch was about to sacrifice himself, but instead Silver Surfer sacrificed herself to save the world, to push Galactus, Silver Surfer, her and the Galactus pushed into the little dimension, portal thing, and then they're both gone, and the whole world's saved, and and then Sue Storm was unconscious, and then she wakes up, and everything was back to normal and everything. Well, except everything's damaged though, because all the other people had to evacuate, right? Because they're all both going underground and everything, right? And but after Galactus defeated though, everybody's coming out, everything's perfectly safe. So they both have a great happy ending, except 4 years later, Franklin's now 4 years old, and Sue Storm is about to get a book or whatever, and guess what? Doctor Doom captured Franklin. Yep, Doctor Doom. Of course, Doctor Doom, the villain of Fantastic Four, right? Now, Doctor Doom in this movie, played by Robert Jr. from the Avengers movies, as Iron Man and everybody, Yep, he plays Doctor Doom in this movie. And not only that, he's going to play as in the Avengers Doomsday. Yep. Avengers Doomsday. Yep, that's the next upcoming MCU movie is coming out next year. So it was meant to come out around Christmas time, but now it's pushed back to next year. So But that's not the plot. I say about the plot about this movie though. But now what do I think of this movie though? Like I said, I thought this movie was a great, well done movie for me. I thought it was just an awesome and fantastic movie for me though. It was really awesome, and I loved it. I know people, if you don't like this movie, that's okay though, because I like the movie the way it is. Okay, just say whatever you want. So, Pestro, I don't know how you say his last name though. Like I said, I did like him as an actor though now, and I thought he did a really great job as Mr. Fantastic in this movie though. Him as Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, they were great parents though. I think they were really great parents. Excuse me. Sorry. And speaking of Sue Storm, being pregnant though, it did kind of reminds me of Grace from the X-Men '97 series, right? When she was pregnant at the time, and from like 2 or 3 episodes, right? So, yeah, kind of like how Grace and Scott, as Cyclops, named their baby, Charles, after Charles, Professor X, right? And then this movie, Fantastic Four: First Steps, Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm named their baby Franklin, right? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The opposite, yeah. But yeah, I was trying to say, yeah. Now, again, I thought they did a great job. So, sorry, a little thirsty there. But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed this movie, though. I don't think, like I said, I enjoyed the first 2 Fantastic Four movies from back in the 2000s, and I did not mind Fame Four Stick though. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was just a decent one in my opinion. I mean, I thought it was decent, and especially this movie right here. I love First Steps. Really great, awesome, fantastic movie though. Really awesome movie. People don't like it. That's perfectly fine though. I do respect your opinion. So as long as you respect my opinion, we're all good. So but you know what to do. So, but yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video or so. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And see you guys next time, and yeah, I did have a really great birthday going to see that movie, though, and yeah, because I went to saw it for my birthday, though. Yeah, my birthday, because since I'm 26 years old now, so. But yeah, I thought it was just the best movie this year, in my opinion, so. Because I loved it. But yeah, but anyway, guys, but once again, thanks for watching. Till then, peace out, Team Wolves respect, and I'll see you guys in the next video or so. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out, people.